When Neville Goddard said feeling is the secret, he wasn't simply pointing to emotions in the narrow sense. He was talking about something much deeper, about the total spectrum of what we mean by feeling. For those of us exploring conscious reality creation, understanding this is absolutely essential. Most people assume that feeling means just trying to be happy or enthusiastic about what they want. But Neville taught three distinctive types of feeling that, when brought together, make manifestation inevitable. They are emotional feelings, the feeling of living in the end, and the feeling of an embodied imagination. Let's begin with emotional feelings. Every thought we think generates an emotional response. Our inner dialogue creates the atmosphere of our life, the tone in which we live day after day. You can think of it like background music. It's always playing, shaping how we experience the world and how the subconscious accepts information. If we constantly dwell on thoughts like, "It never works out for me," or "I'm always unlucky," then the emotional atmosphere will naturally be heavy and discouraging. On the other hand, if we deliberately redirect our thoughts, the atmosphere changes. Neville said a change of feeling is a change of destiny. This is because the subconscious accepts feeling as fact. So how do you apply this? By catching the inner conversation and flipping it. When you notice a complaint, replace it with a statement that reflects fulfillment. For example, if you're manifesting a relationship, instead of thinking, "nobody ever stays," you redirect it to, "it feels wonderful to be loved and chosen." In a career context, instead of, "I'll never get that job," you shift to, "it feels natural to thrive in meaningful work." For health, the change might be from, "I'm always sick," to, "I feel strong and vibrant." Each of these thought shifts brings with it an emotional lift, whether that's relief, gratitude, or calmness. That emotional tone is what your subconscious registers as truth.
The second type of feeling Neville emphasized is the feeling of living in the end. This is perhaps his most famous teaching, and it's also the one people find hardest to put into practice. Neville taught that you do not manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. That means it isn't enough to hope, wish, or wait for something to arrive. You have to occupy the identity of the person who already has it. Living in the end means assuming the state of the wish fulfilled. Not as a visitor, but as a resident. It's about stepping into the role of the self who already enjoys the desire and making that self your natural identity. Neville said, dare to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption until it becomes your dominant state. The word dare is important because it takes courage to step out of the comfort of your current identity and embody the self who already has the desire. To put this into practice, ask yourself a simple but profound question. Who would I be if this were already true? If you were already in the relationship, how would you think and carry yourself? If you were already thriving in your career, how would you move throughout the day? If you were already in perfect health, how would you act and feel? Write down the qualities of this fulfilled self and then begin to step into them, not as a performance, but as a natural choice of identity. So let's look at some examples. In a relationship, living in the end might mean walking through life with the quiet confidence of someone who is already loved and chosen. In career, it might mean carrying yourself as a professional who belongs in their role instead of as a struggler hoping for a break. And in health, it means embodying vitality now, not waiting for healing in the future. You don't walk like someone who is still broken. You walk as someone whole. This is what it means to live in the end.
And the third type of feeling Neville spoke about is embodied imagination. Many people treat visualization as if it were just daydreaming. watching a movie where they see themselves from a distance. But Neville insisted that true imagination must be felt from within. You don't watch the scene, you enter it. You look out through your own eyes and you feel it as though it's happening right now. This is where physical sensation comes in. Neville taught the subconscious does not distinguish between vividly imagined movement and actual movement. When you imagine signing your name on a contract, or holding the hand of a partner, or feeling the strength of your body in motion, the subconscious takes it as real. And because the subconscious creates your outer reality, that inner act becomes the seed of outer manifestation. How do you apply this? By keeping your inner scenes short, physical, and repeatable. Choose a moment that would naturally follow the fulfillment of your desire. Then step into it. Look through your eyes, not at yourself. Feel the movement. Shake the hand. Hug the partner. Climb the stairs. Hold the ring. Sign the paper. Add as much sensory richness as you can. The texture, the sound, the weight. Then loop that scene gently until it feels natural. Consider again the 3 examples for relationships. You might imagine feeling your partner's arms around you, hearing them say, "I love you." For a career, it could be the sensation of a pen in your hand as you sign a contract, or the sound of someone congratulating you. For health, you might picture climbing stairs with ease, feeling the strength of your legs and the flow of your breath. These embodied scenes are not mere fantasy. They are the creative act itself.
Now let's bring these 3 types of feelings together into a daily practice. The beauty of Neville's teaching is its simplicity. If you apply these 3 kinds of feeling, morning and night, you'll notice the outer world beginning to rearrange itself to match your inner state. Here's a structure you can follow. In the morning, begin with an emotional reset. Upon waking, catch the first thought. If it leans negative, flip it into a fulfilled thought such as, "I am already living my desired life." Feel the natural shift in emotion, gratitude, calmness, joy. Next, spend a few minutes living in the end. Ask, who am I now that this desire was fulfilled? Step into that identity. Imagine yourself going about the day as that version of you. And finally, before moving into your day, spend a few minutes in embodied imagination. Create a short scene that implies fulfillment and feel it physically. Hug your partner, sign the paper, feel the strength in your body. Then carry that state with you as you move through your day. During the day, use idle moments to reinforce the state. Redirect in a chapter when it drifts back to lack. Replay your short scene briefly, then when waiting in line or taking a walk. Let the state of fulfillment become natural. At night, repeat the process as you wind down. Review the day lightly and replace any troubling thoughts with fulfilled ones. Step into your identity of fulfillment as you decline. Then, as you drift into sleep, replay a short sensory scene that implies your desire is already real. Loop it gently until sleep carries you away. Neville called this the state akin to sleep. It's the most fertile state for impressing your subconscious.
Of course, there are common mistakes that people make with this practice. One is treating visualization like daydreaming, watching from the outside rather than entering the scene. Another is trying to force extreme emotions. Neville never said you must feel ecstatic. Subtle feelings of relief, gratitude, or naturalness are enough. Another mistake is waiting for outer proof. Living in the end means assuming it now, not someday and finally. And finally, inconsistency undermines the practice. 5 minutes in a state won't outweigh hours of worry. Persistence is the key. Neville's quotes make this clear. Feeling is the secret subconscious. The subconscious responds not to the logic, but to feeling. A change of feeling is a change of destiny. Shift your emotional tone and you shift your life's trajectory. Dare to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It takes courage to leave behind the old identity. And think feelingly only of the state you desire to realize. Imagination without feeling is daydreaming. Imagination with feeling is creation.
So let's put this into a simple script you can follow. In the morning, whisper inwardly, I'm already living in my desire. Feel gratitude. Step into the self who already has it. Imagine a short physical scene that implies fulfillment. During the day, redirect your inner dialogue and carry yourself as that self. At night, release the day, replace worries with fulfilled thoughts, and drift to sleep, replaying a short sensory scene until it feels natural and real. When you practice this rhythm consistently, all three kinds of feeling, emotional, identity, and embodied, work together. Your inner state becomes unified and the outer world conforms. Whether your desire is love, career success, or radiant health really doesn't matter. Align your emotions, assume your identity, and embody your imagination. This is the secret Neville left us. Manifestation doesn't flow from effort or struggle. It flows from assumption. Feeling is the key.
Manifestation isn't about chasing, forcing, or waiting. It's about dwelling in the felt reality of your desire. Once you grasp these three types of feeling and weave them into your daily practice, you'll see what Neville meant. Creation happens not by effort, but by assumption.
And if you found value in today's talk, I'd love for you to support the channel by liking this video, subscribing and sharing it with others who are exploring conscious creation. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you never miss an update when new content is released. And until next time, think differently, dream boldly, and create consciously.